All right, so who needs to write a book? The answer that I have to that question is everyone should be writing a book. I really firmly believe that everyone needs to write a book because you don't have to write a book to be famous. That's not necessarily the reason for writing. It happens, obviously. If you're positioned properly and everything like that, it can happen. But what you do want is to make an impact. Many of us know that we were brought here on this earth to make an impact. And for whatever reason, we tend to get really scared when it comes to facing whatever activities that we have to do in order to make that impact that we were brought on this earth to do. So I look at the workshops as my contribution to people's purpose. And I look at it too as a way to take away the fear of writing and publishing. So that's kind of like my little tagline. It's to take away the fear. And so I want to encourage you to know that writing a book, it's not as difficult as maybe you may think it is. It's just a lot of information, and you just need to know what you need to know in order to do what you need to do. So, but it's not as difficult as you might imagine that it is. I also believe children, if they are at that place where they are cognizant enough to know I need to write, they should be allowed to write and publish a book. There are quite a few children authors out there. Anyone should think of writing a book, and there are some reasons that I have here, because think of it, when I look at people like, for example, Martin Luther King Jr., with the letters that he wrote when he was imprisoned and all the different things that were happening in his life, a lot of that information we still have today. I think of it as legacy as well. So you're building your legacy so that whoever is coming behind you has something to look at to say, this is what she thought or he thought during the early 21st century. We don't know how long this world will last, but let's say third, fourth generations are here. They have never met you, they will never meet you, and you have books. So you have a book out, they read your book, they hear your voice when they read your book, and they understand your perspective when they read your book. So that's a way of looking at it. So you're contributing to legacy as well as you do that. And I just mentioned it, why write and publish? So that you can continue to spread your voice, share what's inside of you with the world, because I believe everybody has something to say that's worth saying and worth reading, worth hearing, and we're going to go through all of that during this workshop so that you can understand the details of what I'm saying right now. Now, how much should you write? People have asked this question. There isn't really a limit on how much somebody should write. For example, in a book. Many books you would find are probably on average about this size, right? And this is about 100 pages and about this dimension. And I think this is something like a 5x9 or something like that, 5x8, something to that effect. So many books are usually around that size. But some people's books will be longer, some will be shorter, as long as you know that whatever is in the book is the full story of what needs to be shared with your audience. For example, again, my book, the Write That Book book, it's very short. It's a very short book. But the content in the book is everything that I believe needs to be in that book. And so there wasn't any reason to write pages and pages more of information when I felt that the book was complete as is with so few pages. So you just have to know what's the full story that you want to share with your audience, and then that will help you determine how long your book will be. But it's better to write fewer pages with solid content than to write pages and pages where it's like you're rambling because you're trying to make up page numbers. You don't want to do that. So you just want to write that what's enough so that your audience hears your voice, understands the message that you're sharing, and it resonates with them. And if it's action that needs to happen after they read, they know exactly what they need to do after they've read it.